Good morning, Dr. Newton and Jason Everidge. I want to thank you for
Morning.
inviting me to come on and talk about some of the great resources you guys have available with development services to help the people, our customers who come to you and help them be successful with what they're accomplished. So, Dr. Newton, tell me a little bit about what our goal and why we're producing these series of videos that we'll be doing over the next couple weeks.
Well, Gavin McRoberts, thanks for having us and agreeing to do this. This is the first in a series of videos that we're hoping to do as a tutorials, just sharing a whole bunch of information. As the Director of Development Services, we have this commitment that we are going to be good stewards of our city. We say that we are doing all that we can to have high quality customer service and helping others. We really are fully bought into that idea. We have a planning and zoning division. We have building inspections and permitting. We have code enforcement. We have provided checklists of what's happening, how you can look to make things occur in the city, what's not being done right. We actually have a whole year's worth of code enforcement where you can click on and see what's happening there. We have useful links to places. If you need more information, click on this. We have before development and after development. We have plans showing what we're expecting. We have how to submit things online as well as to see how the inspections are going. But what we don't have is we haven't actually found a way to make sure that the public knows to look for this information, where to look. So we're wanting to be able to share how to find that, how to see it. And I really do want to thank you for helping us in getting this done. So this is the first in several short tutorials, and we'll be sharing other ones on some of those things that I just mentioned. So today we have our Chief Building Official, Jason Everidge, and he's going to share some of what we have in that division's information. So again, thank you for doing this.
Hey, not a problem. So, Jason, why don't you go ahead and take on over, and why don't we start with the website, because I know there's a lot of great resources that you have there.
Well, good morning. So on our website, we have a ton of useful information, not only for the development community, but for the citizenry, all sorts of public information for everybody at hand. And if you'll give me a moment, I will share my screen. All right, so the first thing to know is that the actual address is www.fayetteville-city-services/development/permitting-inspections. But the easiest way to get to our page is if you just scroll your mouse on the city services on the main website at fayetteville-nc.gov, you'll have a drop-down menu. And if you look in the first column, second from the bottom, you will see our page.
Yeah, the mega menu makes it easy to find what you're trying to find. Just got to remember development services, because if you're looking to develop property, that's where you're going to go to find all your resources.
Absolutely. So on our main page, we have just basic information, but there's more specific information on our left sub pages here. So on our main page, we have links to everything there. So our first link is to the e-development portal. This is where if you want to submit a set of plans, permits, this is the portal you want to go to. This is not only for permitting inspections, but for planning, for engineering, stormwater, traffic services, everything that the city of Fayetteville does as far as development will go through the e-development portal. We have weekly and monthly information that we keep for our state partners and local partners for information that they keep. A simple flow chart that just pretty much tells you what the process is, not too complicated. Various quick links to different stages, not only on the city website, but also state licensing boards, state information, state agencies, and additional information. So if anybody was interested in being an inspector, we have a link. How do I become an inspector? If you want to buy code books, where do I buy code books? Additional information on our main page is we have the email address that if you want to email a permit application, you're more than welcome to do that. In addition, a feature we're very proud of that if you come down here and for some reason you lost the information of who your inspector is, or even if you want to know if your property is in the city limits, you can simply click on here, enter the address, and it'll tell you who your inspector is for each respective trade.
And that's a GIS map, so you can see the whole city. So you could either type in your address, you could probably zoom in as well on the map and click on a property to find who the inspector is for that area.
Correct. And like I said, if you're not sure if your property is in the city of Fayetteville, within the city limits, you can type in your address and it'll tell you if you're within the city or not.
And so let's say if I know that I need a plumbing permit because I'm going to do something with my toilet, I go in, I type in my address, and then I see my inspector for my region be John Doe. So John Doe's number will be listed there, and then I just have to call John Doe to schedule that inspection, correct?
Correct. Which we have more information in regards to that in our topics to the left. Now, speaking of our topics on the left, let's go to our first one, which is building and plan review inspections. Now, this is a very interesting one because we have subpages underneath that. Mm-hmm. So here's just general information. You know, we try to have plans reviewed within 10 business days. Single family homes, we have within 2 business days. Our goals, several links to, the state statutory laws that we're required to do. But interesting enough that when you click that, you see all these bottom here. And this is some very useful information. For example, let's take a look at that drop down on building inspections. So when you go here, not only do we have on here what the required inspections are as required by state, that if you scroll to the bottom, and this is for each trade, we have on here the most common things we're turning people down for on an inspection, which is very useful information, not only for contractors, but homeowners who are doing their work. Just general information there. Know what we're commonly turning inspections down for.
And that can be helpful. I know I'm a weekend warrior myself when I do stuff around the house. So that I could see how a lot of that is kind of good. Reminder of the things I need to be thinking about when I'm doing work myself, like whether I need to get permits or whether I need to be doing sort of certain way or is a project beyond my capabilities and I need to probably reach out to a bonded contractor to do the work for me.
Correct. And we have that not for building, but electrical, mechanical, plumbing inspections. We have some code defined definitions because those definitions will change as compared to, your standard dictionary. Mm-hmm. We have handicap signs for business owners. We have remote inspections information. So there's a ton of useful information under the sub of building inspections. So looking at here, we're going to go to the permit applications, which is pretty self-explanatory. But outside of the permit applications that we have on here, we've also got links here to when is plan review required. In addition, we also have a fee schedule commentary and a fee calculator. So if you're not sure about the fee schedule, you can read the commentary to see what it covers. You can use the calculator, put in there to give you a rough idea of what the permit costs are going to be. So our next tab underneath here, we have businesses moving into an existing building. This is very valuable information that if you want to move your building or your business into an existing building, we have various different guidelines here for you to read. We've made this one particularly very user-friendly as it's not very code-specific language so that the everyday person can read that and understand what the state requirements are. We've also got additional information on here to help you through that. Our next tab is going to be the e-development portal and FayWorx help. When you come to this page, we have various amounts of information to help guide you through the process of submitting to the city of Fayetteville. Now, this page is specific to permittings and inspections. But if you look on the page, we have various videos, and there are more coming, We have documents. This is very good that if you want to use this to search our portal to see if a building has permits on it, if there was permits, so on and so forth. We've got user guides not only from our vendor, but ones that we've created that's a step-by-step going through how to submit plans to the city of Fayetteville. We've got various documents to upload, and then we have our FayWorx portal for the permitting to help. Now we're in the process of going into a new, easier system, which everybody will appreciate. And on this page, we'll have more information when we make that move. Our next tab on the left is going to be guidance documents. This is a very important document for anybody having anything to do in the development community. On our guidance, we have general administrative, which is plan review required. Permit required list. It's if you don't know if you need a permit, take a look at that. If you're not sure if it requires a contractor, we have a contractor license requirement. If you're going to call in your inspection, we have guidelines to that, not only our commentary and our fee calculator. We have code guidance. We have code interpretations from the state. It's a link to that you can search through their database for code interpretations. We use it very often. There's also state mandated guidelines for tiny homes. We've done a guidance document for generators. If you're putting an awning, canopy, a deck roof, or patio cover at your property, we've made a guidance document for help with Appendix B. And we have the actual code requirements for wood decks. And of course, we have various maps. If you want to know what the fire historic district map is, if you don't want to use the searchable maps on the main page, you can look at the maps for the inspector zones. Various presentations that I presented to different organizations. And we also have videos from our stakeholders within the state, such as the Real Estate Commission, the License Board for General Contractors, and various news stories that impact the development community here in the city of Fayetteville. Our next tab we're going to look at is the Inspections Results Lookup tool. When you're on here, if you have your permit number, we can put in that permit number and we can see what the status of an inspection is. Now, mind you, this will not, if an inspection was failed, it will not tell you what it failed for. We try to keep that information between the contractor and the city. If you're the contractor or the permit holder and you want to find that information, you'll generally get an email, or you can log into the FayWorx portal and you can see the results there. Our next tab is going to be our Inspections Permitting Customer Survey. Now, this is a survey that you can judge us or rate us from the comfort of your home or on the job site and tell us, how did we do? This information is sent to the city of Fayetteville, where we look at it and we evaluate our customer service, our professionalism. We highly encourage that anybody that's had an interaction with us to go online and fill it out. Our next tab is the Inspector's Decision Informal Review Process. So on the Inspector's Decision Informal Review Process, this is a process that was laid out by the state. And all this basically means that if you have an inspection and the inspector failed you and you disagree with that, you first contact their supervisor. After they review it, you still disagree with the result, you can appeal to the chief building official and he will take a look at it and then make a decision. Our next tab on the left is going to be checklists. This is a relatively new tab that we put in here. And this is just basic. So right now we have checklists for commercial construction inspections, the same for residential inspections, and plan review submittals. We intend to have much more checklists in there to help the homeowner with the process of going through and doing improvements to their property. Our next tab is going to be information for registered interior designers, registered architects, and registered engineer. All this is, this takes you to the state links that tells you what the architect, engineer, interior designers can and cannot do and what the license requirements are for them. Our next category here is residential solar panel requirements. Now, this is a very important section right here for anybody who's looking for solar panels. We have a link to what the license requirements are for the contractors. We have the state mandated inspection and review guidelines here. We also have what the local utility providers here that service Fayetteville, what their requirements are. So if you're thinking of having solar panels put to your house, we highly encourage you to go through each and every one of these and see what the requirements are going to be for your home.
And it's different with each electrical provider because they have their own set of rules. You know, there's the state rules, but then there's the electrical provider, because I know like some of them, they don't allow for gated, was it the gated connections, right? For at the electrical
Correct.
terminal. Yeah.
So what with like PWC, and this is the link requirements, is so that if you do solar panels on your house, that those solar panels by their requirement actually feeds back to the system, which reduces your bill as compared to where the solar panels was actually feeding electricity to your home. Our next tab is miscellaneous reporting data. Now, this is for anybody who's just interested in how the city of Fayetteville, what the building process, how many building permits have we issued. Underneath here, we have how many permits, building, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, general, how many we've issued, what the estimated value of that construction of that value is, and how many inspections we've done by fiscal year. We also have another link up here to how to use the portal search features. Our final link is the FAQs, frequently asked questions.
I imagine you guys get a lot of those.
We do. And it's generally the same thing. So we put this on here to try and help the general basic questions. It's impossible to try and put something on here that's like a site-specific or project-specific question, but these just answer general questions that we noticed that are repeat questions. Which in addition, about a year or so ago, that the city of Fayetteville teamed up with a consultant, and we went out and we talked to the developers, contractors of the city of Fayetteville, and they evaluated us. And the frequently asked questions that we came up here, we've posted on our website that you can find right here.
Gotcha. So one question I did have, so let's say if I'm a homeowner and I go into the FAQ and I've looked through everything on the website, because, you know, when in doubt, check it out. Try to find what you're looking for. But if I can't find the exact question or I just really want to make sure I'm understanding this properly, because it can be a daunting process if you've never done it before. And even if you have done it before, what can a person do? Is there a phone number they can call? Can they come to City Hall?
Absolutely. So if you go back to our main page, and if you scroll down, we actually have a position hired. It's called the Construction or Development Liaison.
Are they working in the front part
Right
of the lobby now?
Correct. We've restructured City Hall where our development liaison is up front. We highly encourage you to give him a phone call. If you have a question, you can send an email, or if you have the time, come in and visit us. Talk to us face to face. We're more than happy to talk with you beforehand to help you, guide you through what you need to do, then end up worse for worse coming out and tell you that you have to tear something down because you did something out of sequence per state law.
Yeah, because I imagine developers, you've been a developer for many years. I mean, not developer, inspector for a number of years, and I imagine you want to make sure people are successful in getting things done before you ever have to get there, and then you just make sure everything is safe before it can be turned over to the property owner at the end of the day.
We would much rather have somebody come in here and ask a question and get them on the right track beforehand than end up having to be the perceived bad guy as when we tell that you have to tear something down because it wasn't properly constructed or it was covered up before anybody could see it, something like that. We would love to help people before situations like that.
It looks like we need to get you a stronger camera support there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, that's great. I appreciate it. Is there anything else you want to share? I know we're going to do some other videos coming up soon, and we'll be posting on the website as well and then sharing it with all our partners that we work with. So, Jason, I want to thank you for coming on. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
Well, I would highly encourage anybody who does business, lives in, visits the city of Fayetteville, look at our website. We're at Fayetteville's website. Yeah, there's all sorts of information between events that are going on. How do I build stuff like that? The airport, there's a ton of useful information on our website, and we highly encourage everybody to check out the website from the comfort of your own home. And then if you have any questions or it's not answered at, contact us. Give us a call, email, come visit us. We're here to help.
Yeah. Thank you, Jason. You have a good day now.
You too.